until that inevitability. But it should be a good one between the Tigers and the Wildcats here today as they introduce starting lineups. Let's do the same, and we'll start with the 3-seed Tigers, as it'll be a sophomore guard, 5'8", out of Glasgow, Kentucky, Bailey Pedigo. Another guard, a junior, 5'9", out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky, Faith Lake. Savannah Gregory, who had a pretty good game in the round of 16. She's a senior guard, 5'9", out of Scottsville, Kentucky. Courtney Pritchett, she's a sophomore forward, 5'9", from Byrdstown, Tennessee. Sammy Rogers is a senior guard, 6 feet tall, out of Lanceburg, Kentucky. Ginger Colvin, in her 14th season, calls the shots for Campbellsville. On the Wildcats side of things, Gabby Suarez, a junior guard, 5'8", out of Kissimmee, Florida. Dayton Groninger, a senior forward, 6 foot, out of Warsaw, Indiana. Madison Davis at the other guard, 5'10", from Rockford, Illinois. She's a junior. Jordan Reed, she's a freshman forward. She measures in at 5'10". She's from New Palestine, Indiana. And Ann Seacrest had that huge game in the round of 16. She's a senior forward, 6'1", out of Claypool, Indiana, transfer from Youngstown State. She leads the Wildcats in points per game at 14.2, rebounds per game at about 6.5, and she shoots about 49% from the field. You'll hear her name quite a bit here tonight for the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, as she's one of their go-to players on the court offensively, and I mean, done more so in the round of 16, where, again, career-high 32 points.
Yeah,
doesn't happen often.
And especially when teams have struggled when they come to the big stage of the Tyson Event Center. It's a different kind of shooting background. She had no problem. Not only did she score 32 points, she also shot 66% from the field, over 50% from beyond the arc. And Seacrest is definitely going to be the one that Campbellsville will key on. The nice thing, though, Indiana Wesleyan also had 3 other players in double figures in that win against Southeastern. So if Ann Seacrest is drawing all the attention, luckily Groninger, Davis, and Reed can be able to carry the load as well.
Two teams that are very used to being here at the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. 18th overall appearance for the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, 29th for the Campbellsville Tigers. As we're ready to go here tonight, ball's up, tipped, and corralled by the Tigers to start things off here tonight in Savannah Gregory. And she will hand it off to Bailey Pedigo. As the Tigers control things first. Trying to look for that backdoor cut. Pass, though, looks like it goes off an ankle. And a turnover. Wildcats have possession as Suarez will bring the ball up the floor for Indiana Wesleyan's first possession of this ball game. Jordan Reed, first team all-freshman for the conference in that Crossroads League, as the pass out tipped, but corralled by the Wildcats anyways. It's Madison Davis as the shot clock starting to run out below 5. Fighting in there, finally able to split the double team and lay it in is Dayton Groninger.
That's a great post move. She was able to get the defenders on their tiptoes and just sneak right underneath them and get a nice layup.
Groninger shows you why she's first team all Crossroads League. Tigers swinging it around. Pedigo will give it up. Back to Pedigo. Has a nice backdoor gut. Fantastic pass and a good finish for Savannah Gregory.
Offense clicking right away for Campbellsville. Gregory and Pedigo all on the same page, and it leads to a beautiful-looking first score.
You saw why Pedigo leads the team in assists per game at 4.3. 3 balls offline. Offensive board for Indiana Wesleyan, but unable to put it back is Jordan Reed. Here come the Tigers. 3 ball, far side corner. That's off the mark, but chasing her own miss and picking it up is Faith Lake, and she'll put it off the glass and give the Tigers their first lead of the game.
Right away, we're seeing offensive rebounds be a key. Campbellsville had 22 offensive rebounds against Lewis Clark State in the round of 16. It's going to sound like a broken record this entire game. Whoever offensive rebounds the best in this one, I think will come out on top.
Yeah, Campbellsville out-rebounded Lewis Clark State 50-26, including what Daniel just said, the 22 on the offensive side of things. Suarez thought about the corner 3, instead drives baseline, kicks it out. 3 on the way for Madison Davis, swish.
And they're no strangers to three-point success. This team averages 38% from beyond the arc. They like to fire, and they connect a number of times.
Yeah, Indiana Wesleyan, a very good three-point shooting team. They're 6th in the country in total three-pointers at 272 coming into this tournament, and 7th in three-point percentage. Up by 1 thanks to the Davis 3. In the post kick out. 3 on the way for the Tigers. Can they answer? Nope, off to the left was Savannah Gregory with her attempt. out of bounds, but it'll stay with Campbellsville.
Yeah, and Gregory trying to get her scoring going. Normally one of the top scorers for Campbellsville this season, only had 8 points in the round of 16. Looking to see if she can help things offensively for the Tigers.
Inbound to Faith Lake. Has plenty of space, but then gives it up as they move it around. Courtney Pritchett into paint looking for someone to give the ball to. Finally finds Padigo. To Pritchett. Fake the three. Gives it up. On the way. No good for Sammy Rogers. And a whistle and a foul on the floor as that was Savannah Gregory fighting for the rebound. She's able to draw the whistle.
Yeah, Gabby Suarez kind of hooked her with her left arm trying to beat Gregory to the basketball, and it resulted in a kind of dirty-looking foul.
Here's Gregory, long two, rattles in and then out. Rebound for Sechrist. She gives it right to Gregory. Great look to Padigo, who's cutting, and Padigo with the finish. All hustle from Savannah Gregory throughout the entire possession to make those 2 points happen. And a steal. Savannah Gregory's just doing it all here early. Pritchett gives it back to Padigo. Padigo trying to get Gregory open. Pritchett thought about the pass to the cut. Then she just kind of throws up a circus shot behind her head. Wouldn't go. Now racing down the floor is Reed. She goes coast to coast with the right hand.
What a quick turnaround by the freshman Jordan Reed. Sprinted by 3 defenders on her way all the way down the floor for a bucket.
You see how she made the all-freshman conference team from New Palestine, Indiana. Gregory able to beat Suarez under the basket and then goes high off the glass for 2.
Oh, Gregory is doing it all, like you mentioned on the previous possession. There she is getting her hand in a passing lane. There's a reason she pretty much stuffs the stat sheet for everything on Campbellsville. She averages 3 steals a game, and she normally hits that.
Also averages a team-high 5.1 rebounds per game. Had just 8 points, but 10 boards in that round of 16 win against Lewis Clark State. We can see those quick hands, Daniel, because she's 14th in the nation in steals per game with usually averaging 3 and 16th in total steals with 67. Again, quick hands. Indiana Wesleyan having trouble holding on to this basketball. There's Gregory with another steal, going to the knees to grab that one.
And that's something you love to see out of your senior guard. She's the team captain. It's contagious when she's able to get into the passing lane, show that hustle and enthusiasm. And like I said, it's contagious to the rest of the Campbellsville team.
Gives it to Pritchett. Works to her left. She was looking for Padigo. Back to Gregory. Trying to use that screen. Pritchett with 5 on the shot clock. Has to heave one up and swish. Nothing but net for Courtney Pritchett. She's a pretty good 3-point shooter. 57% on the season for Pritchett.
Yeah, and she probably didn't think she was going to be taking that. She worked a lot in the post against Lewis Clark State, but gets one from the outside there.
Reed tosses it to Suarez. Suarez drives baseline, kicks it back out. Sechrist for 3. Left it short. Reed with the rebound. She's going to draw the foul.
And Pritchett and Rogers got their hands in there trying to get the rebound. Again, the offensive glass is proving crucial in this one between both Indiana Wesleyan and Campbellsville. And whoever's fighting hardest on the glass is doing a great job in this one.
Now here's Campbellsville, their substitutions. They bring in a host of bench players all at the same time. Basically 5 in, 5 out for Ginger Colvin as Reed knocks down the first.
And that really, wears down Indiana Wesleyan when they're bringing in 1 or 2 players at a time, and to see an entire new 5 players that play just as hard and just as well as the starting 5, it really wears down the Wildcats.
Jordan Reed hits both, yet Campbellsville had 10 players in that game against Lewis Clark State that played more than 10 minutes.
Right.
You don't see that very often. Usually it's a rotation of 7 or 8. Even 9 you consider deep, and the Wildcats are considered a pretty deep team as Davis gets called for the reach-in.
Yeah, well, it's just the strategy. Campbellsville, we've seen it. They play hard, as Savannah Gregory we've been pointing out, but all of Campbellsville, they play hard the entire way. They get hands in the passing lane. They're playing at max speed all the time, and when that's the case, you got to go 10 deep.
Lake with the 3. That is Lexi Lake. Offensive board, though, for Campbellsville. Tigers keep possession. So you have a Faith Lake and a Lexi Lake.
Twin sisters as well.
Out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. As Shepard with the layup. Can't get it to go. It'll whistle on the floor and it'll stay with Campbellsville as that ball trickles its way out of bounds. Tigers with a 2-point lead, trying to extend that. Nice pass into paint, going up with the right hand, using the glass is Ashley McGeorge, the junior forward out of Tompkinsville, Kentucky.
And Campbellsville did a great job with their bench, like we said. Almost half their points against Lewis Clark State came off their bench. McGeorge was a key to that. So was Sarah Sutton. This second unit is really solid.
Davis drives, baseline mid-range jumper, and she shot it like it was a three, and it went over everything. Rebound for Shepard. She races up the floor before the Wildcat defense turns her aside. Lauren Lee trying to dance with Davis and then trying to get it to the high post, and that's going to be a foul called on Ann Seacrest.
Yeah, a little too much body contact there. It's physical down in the post, especially once you get to the national tournament, but keeping your hands off and making sure you stay clean is very important, especially when free throws get magnified at this level.
Daniel, early on, your point that you made before tip in terms of who wins the offensive rebound battle is going to win. It is slanted heavily towards Campbellsville as McGeorge misses the circus layup, but 6 offensive boards for the Tigers so far to the Wildcats 2.
And a 4-point lead. Those second chance points so important. 6 of the 13 points for Campbellsville so far have come off of offensive rebounds.
And 3 turnovers now for the Wildcats as Ethan Whaley wants to take a timeout and think things and talk things over with his team that trails by 4 just past the halfway mark in this first quarter in the quarterfinals between the 3 seed and the 11 seed right here on the NAIA Network.
Life is still about being in motion and moving forward. Life doesn't stop for back pain, a knee problem, or a nagging shoulder. So don't live with it. Treat it safely at CNOS. We offer virtual visits and, if surgery is needed, the protection of a safe environment. Now is not the time to suffer. Feel good about moving forward and even better about your options.
4-point lead with 3:26 to play in this opening quarter. Maddie Lawrence checking into the game. As Lee has to give up the basketball. Down low to Shepard. Back outside the. Shepard rolling left, heaves up a 3 off the front rim, can't get the friendly roll, and Lawrence comes down with the board.
It was a great box out underneath. Maddie Lawrence just got that Tiger on her backside and just kind of shoved her out of the way.
And another errant pass, 4th turnover of this quarter already for the Wildcats. And 2 straight possessions, Daniel, that we've seen Indiana Wesleyan end with a pretty poor pass.
Yeah, they just seem to be on the wrong page, it seems like. One is cutting when they think they're starting to swing it around the perimeter, and it's just leading to passes that look very ugly, but it's simply down to communication. If you can understand where your teammate's going, you're not going to make those passes.
And travel on Shepard. She got the ball in the low post, but took a few too many steps. The ball goes back to the Wildcats with this soft full court press here for the Campbellsville Tigers. Kelly Damon brings it up the floor, gives it up to Groninger, who knocks down the 3.
That's what Indiana Wesleyan's going to need. They're going to need their outside shooting. It led to their success against Southeastern yesterday, and it's going to have to lead them to success here tonight.
2 of 4 early from downtown for the Wildcats. Lauren Lee trying to get rid of this basketball, finally does. To the top of the key, spinning in the paint, throwing up a shot, being blocked, however, by Bailey Van Dyke. And then a foul on this side of the floor. It'll be Wildcat basketball, plus an extra foul there for CU.
Yeah, Sarah Sutton was looking to try and spin around the defender, get on her backside, but Van Dyke and Damon did a great job keeping a body in between the basket, putting a contest on that shot, and evidently altering it.
2 minutes to go here in the first, as the Wildcats finally able to break that Tigers press. Suarez Down low to Bailey Van Dyke. Tries to get back to Suarez. Pass, however, tipped by Rogers. 10 on the shot clock, back to Suarez. Fakes like she was going to drive. I mean, the Wildcats far away from the hoop as Suarez lines up a three with 3 on the shot clock and hits it. And it gives the Wildcats the lead, 15-13. Big shot by Suarez late in the possession. Here comes Lauren Lee. Nice move, can't finish, however. Good defense by the Wildcats, and then a foul on the board as it was Dayton Groninger coming down with that basketball.
And this is going to be a game of pretty contrasting offensive styles. Indiana Wesleyan is going to look to shoot solely from beyond the arc. In fact, almost 50% of their shots against Southeastern came from distance, whereas Campbellsville only attempted 22 threes. That's still a lot, but it just shows the difference of philosophy and the difference of your priority shots.
And if you're the Wildcats, though, that's actually a pretty good strategy. As here lining up another three. Groninger hits that one. And all of a sudden, the Wildcats catching fire from beyond the arc. It leads to my point that Campbellsville defensively gives up about 30% of three-pointers, which you might not think is high, but when it comes to looking and comparing them to the rest of the teams in this tournament, that is high. And that's a shot that ends up underneath the backboard, hitting the bottom of it. A 5-point lead for the Wildcats, and they look to add more. Another three lined up for Groninger. Heat check time for her. She's on fire.
And the Wildcats are on fire as well. They're now 5 for 7 from distance, and it's only the first quarter.
Groninger has poured in 8 already here in this first quarter. Indiana Wesleyan had a big first quarter in that round of 16 win. Putting together another strong one here, up by 8. At the free throw line, throwing one off the glass and one. Sammy Rogers, a circus shot. She was tumbling to the floor and gets the whistle.
She got tied up there with, they got Maddie Lawrence for the foul, it looked like. But she just does a great job here of fighting through the double team and just kind of throwing one up. At minimum, you get yourself to the free throw line to shoot two. But the fact that it goes in is the cherry on top.
5.8 left on the clock. It'll be Rogers to try to, at the very least, make it a 5-point game heading into the second quarter. She does that. Let's see if the Wildcats have a little magic. We saw that in the Westmont game earlier. As Lawrence gives it up, Groninger. Van Dyke, did she get it off in time? I think she did, yes!
And they're going to look at it, I think. Their officials are going to just confirm to make sure. Coach Ginger High Colvin, I think, wanted to travel down there as well in that transition, but our officials are going to take a look at it, so that'll depend. It'll be either a 7-point or 5-point lead heading into the second.
Yeah, they'll take a look at the monitor here as Bailey Van Dyke, a little mid-range jumper, able to knock it down. As of right now, it stands as a 7-point game, 23-16, as the officials going to get together and look at this one. Second straight game that we've had to review, but why not? National Rental Car is the official rental car company of the NAIA. The NAIA is also proud to partner with Barron Rings, Herff Jones, and Signature Rings as the official licensed ring partners of the NAIA. And Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company. Go ahead and contact the knowledgeable professionals at Mutual of Omaha for all of your student-athlete catastrophic insurance needs. And Hometown Ticketing is proud to be the official ticketing partner of the NAIA. Fast scans make happy fans. You learning anything over there, Daniel?
I don't know. The officials were shaking their head earlier. They might not have a good angle of it, but I don't know. From what I can see, it looks like it's going to be a very close call either way. I don't know. It looks pretty bang from what we can see over on that monitor. But our officials have the better look at it for sure.
I would have to say, for me, just from the naked eye, I think she just got it off. That's just my humble opinion, though. I don't know how much that matters to everybody else. But it looked like maybe she just got it off as they're still taking a look at it. So we'll step aside. 23-6. Oh, never, hold on. We might
have it.
We'll keep it right here. You know what? We'll let you know. that if you want to watch all of the NAIA National Championship this fall, check out the official video home at NAIAnetwork.com. There are over 10,000 live events throughout the course of the year, so go to NAIAnetwork.com to watch all of the exciting championship action. Yeah, I thought we were going to get to see the replay of that for a second, but I guess not. Sure, people at home watching would like to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is not the NFL. We don't get to see what the officials are seeing under the hood.
Well, and again, we don't have the millions and millions of cameras that the NFL and NCAA are able to boast. Yeah. But hey, the fact that we have replay review is good enough, I think, in most cases.
Yeah, we'll take it. But the fact they're taking so long here, that doesn't probably bode well for Indiana Wesleyan. You would think at most it'd be maybe a quick 30-second review to take a look at it and be done with it. But I guess that's not the case. Now they get together, and all three of them are going to talk about it.
And again, it's important to remember the original call on the court was that the shot was in time and good. Yep. So again, if you know sports and you know replay review, you have to have something that indisputable evidence that contradicts it the other way.
Yep, it's good. They'll say the basket is good.
Yep, thank you.
Not quite the Tuck rule, but, an important decision nonetheless. 7-point lead for Indiana Wesleyan heading into the second. Can the Wildcats remain hot from deep? That is how they have their lead after one. If you looked at the difference, points in the paint, huge differential there. 12-4 in favor of Campbellsville. Down low, Seacrest puts the ball on the ground, and she gets it to go. Never mind. She's like, I can score in the paint, guys.
Shoot from distance. It's anything Indiana Wesleyan wants to do right now, they're able to. They're shooting almost 70% from the field so far.
At some point, you just have to think that number's, it has to drop.
Come back down to earth at some point, yeah.
Driving through a lane, throwing up a wild shot, can't get it to go, but an offensive rebound for Faith Lake. 7th offensive board for the Tigers here. Driving, trying to put one up, and Seacrest with the block. Saving it in the corner again, though. Sammy Rogers all over the place. Now it's Pritchett's turn. To the corner. Padigo for 3. Can't get it to go. Another offensive board is, again, that's Savannah Gregory sacrificing the body. She's everywhere. And a whistle on the floor, and it will be a timeout for Campbellsville as they want to talk things over. Ginger Colvin will bring her team to the sideline. 25-16, Wildcats on top. Tigers basketball on the NAIA Network. (25-16). Tigers with 17 on the shot clock. As the pass in, and Gregory fouled by Suarez. She'll go to the line.
Well, again, Campbellsville has had 3 offensive rebounds on this possession alone. I mean, I thought the Lewis Clark State game was a pretty big disparity in offensive rebounds. Heck, 9 of the 11 rebounds for Campbellsville have come on the offensive glass. And again, that can be chalked up to a couple things. Campbellsville's ability to offensive rebound, of course, is number one. But also, Indiana Wesleyan just hasn't missed a whole lot of shots for them to get defensive rebounds on either.
Yeah, it's hard to get an offensive board when you're shooting 70% from the field as Gregory knocks down both. Suarez checks out of the game. Reed comes in for her. Suarez has 2 fouls as Reed trying to make her way up the sideline. Ball on the ground. Padigo. Ooh. Looked like she was ripping that one away as the official came in with the 2 thumbs up for the jump ball. It'll go Tigers' way, but the fact that the arrow is going to have to switch is a small loss there for the Tigers. Good boy, it did look like Padigo was ripping that one away.
Gosh, I would hate to be a guard here for Indiana Wesleyan. Just looking at the harassment Bailey Padigo and Savannah Gregory have put on these guards bringing up the floor. I mean, that is tough to and tougher to bring up.
3 ball from Sammy Rogers, knocked down from distance. She's a 40% three-point shooter, and I mean, it's not like that she doesn't take any shots. There's a foul here by Padigo on Damon. But I mean, she attempted over 100 3-pointers on the season, did Rogers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for a post, that's pretty impressive, and it shows that she's, it's so vital to that offense to be able to stretch the floor, because she is a danger. We've seen her already in this first half be able to score inside and step out from the arc and hit a three.
Rogers with 6, as it's a 5-point game. Davis to the corner looking for Sechrist, but Padigo with the quick hands able to knock that one out of bounds.
Padigo and Gregory are just built different when it comes to defense. I mean, they're swatting at you. They stick their hand in a passing lane and again, just make life so difficult for guards trying to move the basketball.
Here's Reed, kind of left alone in the paint. She tries to put it up with the right hand, but it doesn't go. Tigers second in the nation steals per game, averaging about 14.5, and we're getting a clinic as to how they achieve that number. Down low, Pritchett working against Sechrist, trying to spin around, but she's quickly double teamed as Davis comes to help. She's able to get it out. Padigo drives, kicks it over. Rogers for 3 on the way. Off back iron. Pritchett, though, with the long board, able to corral it. Driving, Lake, hook shot with the left hand. A little too strong, and off to the left. Wildcat basketball. Here comes Davis up the floor. Nice pass. She's able to find Jordan Reed open underneath. Puts it off the glass.
Fighting through some contact as well. Again, the post play for Campbellsville does a great job of contesting shots, makes things difficult, and a nice bucket there for Indiana Wesleyan.
Oh, almost a bad exchange. Here's Pritchett driving baseline, working against Sechrist. Her hands straight up. Boy, she has just stuffed Pritchett down there. And looks like out of bounds or 3 seconds. A 3-second call.
Yeah, Pritchett got kind of tied up in there, and her inability to move, the clock just kind of runs down at that point, and Indiana Wesleyan forces a rare Campbellsville turnover, only their third of the ballgame.
Sechrist, not only can she score, but she makes plays like that are not going to show up in the box score. Davis with some fancy dribbling, but has to throw it across her body. Reed dumps it off. Sechrist in the lane, charge. Reed a little too quick in that lane. She's nodding her head. She knows what she did wrong.
Knocked over Courtney Pritchett, who took the charge like a champ there, and yeah, a great closeout. Again, that's why you need to close out those shots. Pritchett comes in, sacrifices her body, takes the charge, and gives Campbellsville a possession that they deserve.
3.5 minutes in. Each of these teams with only 4 points this quarter. Nice backdoor cut by Padigo. Up and under. She gets it to go.
And great vision by Sarah Sutton as well. Again, knowing the offense to perfection, knowing where Padigo was going, and able to convert.
Dayton Groninger throws one up, gets it to go, and one. Well, Dayton Groninger have a night. She's 13 with a chance to make it 14.
Yeah, she's doing it all. Again, inside, outside, slashing, all those things. And stepping through 2 defenders is no easy task, let alone hitting the bucket in the process.
Groninger knocks down that one, though that's not a surprise at all for her. She's 8th in the nation in free throw percentage at 89% for Indiana Wesleyan. No one better than number 2 at the free throw line. Bailey Van Dyke just right on Padigo's hip the entire way up. Gregory sets up for 3 using a Pritchett screen, a little too strong. Kelly Damon scoops up the board. 3, back to Damon. She heaves up the 3. Off to the right, Pritchett comes down with the basketball for the Tigers.
Gosh, a miss from 3 for Indiana Wesleyan. That's a rare sight.
Making 5 of 8 now in the game for Indiana Wesleyan, but near that 70% mark. Down low, nice cut, great feed, and it's Pritchett who's able to finish. Actually, pardon me, Sarah Sutton that comes up with the deuce. And an errant pass, and there's another steal for the Tigers. Pritchett comes up with it. She races down the floor, kicks it out, 3-ball on the way. Sutton can't get it to go. Groninger taps it to herself.
Yeah, I was going to say, just before that three, it would have made me look like a genius. Sarah Sutton is such a dangerous player on offense for Campbellsville that she can go inside and outside and score.
Jump ball. Things get a little feisty here between Groninger and Gregory, but, I mean, it's like you said at the top of this broadcast, Daniel, it's quarterfinal Saturday.
Yeah, the emotions are going to run high, and that's going to happen. It's going to be physical. It's going to be chippy, and there's going to be some chatting going on, and you know, that's just the nature of once you get this deep into a national tournament.
There was no words, I think, said there, just a shoulder shiver. Even Gregory looked like, wait, what? What did I do wrong? Groninger. Ooh, thought about maybe the three, and then a quick double team. Looking to get rid of the basketball, and she does the damage. Gives it to Seacrest in the corner. She'll drive, puts it up with the right hand, left it a little short, right in that wedge between the glass and the iron. Here come the Tigers, trailing by 6. 3-ball for Sutton. Oh, she was feeling herself there for a second, but a little too long. Groninger towards the corner. Back to Groninger. Wide open three, top of the key, nothing but net for Kelly Damon. That was too easy.
That was way too easy, and nice ball movement by Indiana Wesleyan. A little bit of a hiccup in the corner, but their ability to still take care of the basketball in that process led to that wide open three.
Oh, nice move at the post. Fantastic Euro step for Lauren Lee. Can you say Manu Ginobili?
Definitely the Euro step down there, and that's exactly the move you need. When someone's standing right in your way, posting up, asking for a charge, you got to hit them with that Euro step.
Oh, here we go again. Tossing her around is Sarah Sutton. Bailey Van Dyke able to hold on to the basketball. But yeah, this game's starting to get a tad bit chippy here, Daniel.
And with teams that like to scrap and steal and teams that like to fight you for offensive rebounds, you're going to expect that whether it's a regular season game or a postseason game, because that nature of playing the game of basketball just lends itself to more physicality, more contact, and in turn chippiness.
And it's Saturday.
And it's Saturday.
It's Saturday at the Tyson Event Center. Down low, Rogers battling up with the hook with the left hand. Rebound tipped out. Rogers comes down with it. Gets her own miss just a few feet away from the basket. Tigers will reset the offense as they trail by 7 to the 11 seed Wildcats. Lee kicks it out to Rogers. She'll hand it off. Here comes Shepard driving the lane. Puts up the right hand. Good defense, however, by Jordan Reed, and then she gets the rebound after being tapped around. Here comes Reed flying up the floor with a bunch of Tigers just clinging on to her. And eventually, a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, Jordan Reed has done this a couple times, but I don't know how she is able to dribble up the floor like that with Campbellsville at some points pretty much hanging off of her arm. I mean, it's such a fantastic thing for Indiana Wesleyan when you have defense like Campbellsville plays. To have to move the ball up the floor like Jordan Reed has is such a gift.
Groninger thought about maybe the three. And then a charge down low is trying to back into her defender was Bailey Van Dyke, and instead gets called for the infraction.
A little bit of a lowered shoulder. I think it was a good job selling the call as well. Not a flop, but they were selling the call, encouraging the call a little bit.
There's no flops
no,
in the NAIA.
Course. But there was still a little bit of a lowered shoulder from Van Dyke there.
The offensive foul, Van Dyke her first. That's the third team foul. Is that one off the glass and good?
Sammy Rogers, when you have a post that can distribute the basketball like that, that is so dangerous, let alone she can score from three, score from the inside. The fact she can distribute like that makes her that much more dangerous.
What do they call him, a unicorn? As Reed wide open. Boy, she just gave it up, but a three on the way for Davis. Missed everything except the backboard. Outlet pass a little tough, but Lauren Lee able to corral it. Rogers for three. Got it. Makes it a 2-point game with that shot. Sammy Rogers starting to feel it. And a timeout is going to be taken by Indiana Wesleyan. Ethan Whaley wants to talk things over as he's seen his lead dwindle down to 2. as we near the 2-minute warning until halftime on the NAIA network.
We're all looking for the chance to do more, explore more, create more. And that's exactly what we offer our students at Thomas More. A truly inspired education that opens a universe of opportunity. By immersing students in the very best learning environment, we give them the opportunity to become the people they were created to be, to live a fuller life, to become thinkers, innovators, conquerors of the status quo, to make it more. Thomas More University.
Good game on hand here from the Tyson Events Center. Connor Ryan, Daniel Versteeg. Wildcats up by 2 over the Tigers. Usually a Wildcat wouldn't stand a chance against a Tiger.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty equal battle, but
What?
Wildcats
Wildcats aren't that big. Okay, so we have a foul on Rogers.
Well, technically, a tiger is a wild cat.
No, come on.
So
I've been to the Omaha Zoo. I've seen a tiger. There's no way a Wildcat a tiger. Those things are huge.
well, we might see one here at the Tyson Events Center. Might be a rare sight in nature, but it can happen in basketball.
That's what we talk about. 2-point game. Davis gives it to Reed, kicks it out. Groninger for 3. She's having a good night, can't hit, but a good rebound for Jordan Reed, and she's able to put it back in.
Again, offensive rebounds continue to lead to success. Indiana Wesleyan, their second chance points, not quite as high as Campbellsville, but if they're going to want to win this one, they're going to need to be able to score off those O boards.
Just the 3rd offensive rebound, however, for the Wildcats tonight compared to 11 for Campbellsville.
But again, you look at points in the paint, and of those 3 offensive rebounds, Indiana Wesleyan has scored 4 points off of them. So they're a little bit more efficient on their offensive rebounding opportunities. Campbellsville with 11 rebounds, 7 points, has struggled a little bit to score off those offensive rebound looks.
Jordan Reed, after that putback, now has 8, though everybody trails Dayton Groninger, who leads everybody with 14. Shepard almost lost the basketball, able to give it up to Lake. Sutton trying to drive baseline, but Lawrence cuts her off and turns her aside. Nice cut, and then a little floater by Lee. Right idea, just couldn't get it to go, and Davis with the board. Lawrence almost walked. Gets it to the corner. Groninger trying to add to her total. Unable to do so, but Lawrence right there for the rebound. Puts the ball on the deck and then off the glass for the deuce.
And that's the 3rd offensive rebound of their 4 that they have scored a bucket on. It's efficiency for Indiana Wesleyan. It's 2 and done in some cases.
You know, you're absolutely right, because 7 points for the Tigers off of, or 7 second chance points off of 11 offensive rebounds. Another floater won't go, and then unable to hold on to it. Slippery basketball through the fingers of Groninger. It'll stay with Campbellsville.
And the Tigers are looking right now to cut this deficit as close as they can before heading into the locker room. This game was 7 or 8 points at one point here in this first half, so to get it to a 1-score game looks pretty good here for Campbellsville if they can.
Padigo back into the ball game. Calls out the play. Backdoor cut, but the pass tipped away. Reed able to affect that one. Groninger ends up with it in the end. Now Groninger stuck, gives it to Reed. Groninger and Reed doing the heavy lifting offensively so far tonight for the Wildcats. Seacrest, who put up a career-high 32 the last game, held relatively quiet, working it around. Davis has an open look at 3 with 2 on the clock. Can't get it to go. Tigers end up with the board, and that brings us to halftime. A 6-point lead for the 11 seed over the 3 seed. Indiana Wesleyan heads into the halftime on Campbellsville on the NAIA network.
We're a general construction firm. Been around since 1960. Started off as a mason and have been doing that now for over 40 years. We're fortunate we got our DNA on a lot of buildings in Sioux City. A lot of people have put their trust in us, and hopefully we've performed well for them. Our goal is always to try and give people the best product at the best price and on time, and we're actually able to do that because we self-perform a lot of our work. We have upwards of 55 employees, 40 people out in the field. We do our own concrete. We also do our own carpentry. Our subcontractors handle pretty much everything else in terms of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, those types of things. And our goal is always to give our client the best product at the best price, and we feel like we can accomplish that just with the number of experienced staff that we have on hand here at L&L Builders. We have many, many people that are upwards of 20, 25, and 30 years of experience, and so that really helps us out a lot. They understand our culture, they understand what our expectations are, and it works pretty good.
Let's be threshers. And notice I didn't say hard-working threshers, or honest threshers, or exceptional threshers, for there are no other kind. There are only threshers, and threshers are what we are. Be a thresher, and then we'll be ready for anything. We'll be ready for the exam, the game, the interview, the job, the family, the sorrows and the joys, whatever life throws at us, for we are threshers.
United Sports Academy is now open in North Sioux City. The beautiful sports facility is located in the former Gateway Building, now known as the CNOS Fieldhouse. What is the United Sports Academy? It's the regional destination for youth volleyball, basketball, developmental and elite programs, club teams, camps, lessons, and tournaments, all led by a staff of highly skilled coaches and trainers. United Sports Academy, the area's premier athletic training and competition facility. To learn more, go to usportsacad.com.
Tyson Events Center here in Sioux City, Iowa. Connor Ryan, Daniel Versteeg. Well, you won't hear him here at halftime. He's going to go do his other job as he calls Morningside women's basketball on the radio dial. So he's got to go actually work while I get to sit here and talk to you. Morningside, they are going to play after this one. In fact, the Mustangs just took the court. They're going to take on their GPAC rival in Concordia at 8 p.m. as JB will be back on the call for that one for you right here on the NAIA network. But number 13 Concordia against number 5 Morningside, basically a home team here at the Tyson Events Center. Two teams have already punched their ticket to the semifinal round. Thomas More did that in the first game that we had here this afternoon. 72-47 over Dakota State, the number 1 overall seed, moving on as expected. Number 2, Westmont, they won 91-68 over the 7th seed Clark. Westmont now waits for the winner of this one. And the 3 seed Campbellsville and 11 Indiana Wesleyan, as which you can see 37-31. Indiana Wesleyan is not playing along with the idea of letting chalk win. The 11th seed is trying to punch their ticket to the semifinal round and a date Monday night with the team from California that just destroyed offensively earlier today, Clark, who's a fantastic defensive team in Westmont. So 37-31 our score. 6-point lead for the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan as we break things down for you here. The Wildcats are shooting the daylights out of the Tyson Event Center right now. 14 of 25 from the field, and they're shooting at a 56% clip. Campbellsville shooting 35%, 13 of 37. Wildcats are also shooting it very well from deep, 46%, 6 of 13 here tonight, whereas Campbellsville 23%, 3 of 13. So both teams have taken the same amount of three-point shots, yet it is Indiana Wesleyan who has 3 more makes than Campbellsville, and they lead by 6. Somewhere that math doesn't entirely add up to just extra three-pointers, but well, we'll see. 3 for 3 from the line is Indiana Wesleyan. They're perfect 100%. 2 for 3 is Campbellsville. Not very big sample sizes there. Campbellsville, however, is out-rebounding Indiana Wesleyan and doing it very much so on the offensive glass. 19-16 in total rebounds. However, Campbellsville has 12 offensive rebounds compared to Indiana Wesleyan's 4. Now, Daniel, before tip, said that he thinks whoever wins the offensive rebounding battle will end up winning this basketball game. We'll see if that's true and if the Tigers can start turning those offensive boards into more points. Both teams with 9 assists. 5 steals for the Tigers of Campbellsville compared to 2 for the Wildcats. That's not surprising. The Tigers, one of the best teams in the country, is at creating takeaways. 4 turnovers for Campbellsville, 9 for Indiana Wesleyan. 1 block for the Wildcats, none for the Tigers. As we take a look at the bench scoring, it's 8-7 in favor of the Tigers. Points in the paint, again, heavily slanted towards Campbellsville, 20-14, but the way the Wildcats can and are shooting the basketball from beyond the arc, they don't really need a ton of points in the paint. Second chance points, now here's the difference in this game and why this game is not a Tigers lead and why what Daniel said hasn't quite added up just yet, in the fact that Tigers have 12 offensive boards to the Wildcats 4. However, second chance points, the Tigers have a slim 1-point advantage of 7-6. They have picked up plenty of offensive rebounds. However, they have not been able to turn that into points. That right now is the Tigers' issue and why this is a 6-point lead for Indiana Wesleyan. The Tigers have 10 points off of turnovers compared to the Wildcats 5, as we turn our attention now to the individual play so far here tonight. And for Indiana Wesleyan, it is the senior and first team All-Crossroads League member in Dayton Groninger. She's 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep, 1 for 1 from the line, and she has 14 points to lead all scorers, 5 boards, 2 assists. She's filling up the stat sheet here tonight. Not far behind her is Jordan Reed, and Jordan Reed, a freshman from New Palestine, Indiana, has 8 points of her own, 3 of 5 from the field. Hasn't taken 1 from deep, but 2 for 2 from the line. She has 5 rebounds to her name as well. 3 points apiece for Gabby Suarez, Madison Davis, and Kelly Damon. And then if you're wondering about Ann Seacrest, who put up 32 points, a career high for her in the round of 16 win for Indiana Wesleyan over Southeastern, she's being held to a very quiet 2 points here tonight on 1 of 3 shooting, 0 for 1 from deep. No rebounds, no assists for Seacrest. She's being held very quiet, but as we all know and as we saw the other night, I mean, she can go off at any moment. For the Tigers of Campbellsville, there's nobody above double-digit scoring. The closest is Sammy Rogers, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 4 from deep, 1 for 1 at the line. 3 boards, 2 assists. She has 9 points, though, 2 fouls also to her name. 5 points for Savannah Gregory, as she's 2 of 6 shooting and 4 rebounds of her own. 4 points for Bailey Padigo, and then 3 points for Courtney Pritchard. And a whole slew of Tigers have 2 points to their name, including Ashley McGeorge, Sarah Sutton, Faith Lake, Lauren Lee, and Madison Shepard. But we expected that. Tigers, a very deep basketball team, as they go about 10 deep in their bench, and they have plenty of people playing plenty of minutes and getting plenty of points. So that's what we have so far here tonight. Indiana Wesleyan carried by Dayton Groninger, the Campbellsville Tigers. Sammy Rogers putting up plenty of points, but the rest of the team doing their thing so far through halftime. 37-31, our score here at the half, as it's the Wildcats, the 11 seed ahead of the 6 seed Campbell Tigers, 37-31, trying to punch their ticket to the semifinal round and Monday night. Daniel, you back? How was your interview? Good?
It was pretty solid, yeah.
Okay.
Coach Sale is ready for this next contest coming up here between Morningside and Concordia, conference foes. It's I don't know about you, Connor, but I would not touch your computer screen at all. Keep it locked right here to the NAIA network, because tonight's slate of games is really solid.
Yeah, that's the final game, a little NAIA after dark, if you will, in Morningside and Concordia, 2 GPAC rivals. And let's talk about that. Let's try to break it down here, because, again, you're going to go to the radio dial and do your own little thing, so you won't be here to exactly break it down for everybody. But you're the voice of the Mustangs women's basketball team, so you know them probably better than anybody, especially, JB. But Morningside, Concordia, what are you expecting out of that game?
I don't know. Probably a lower scoring affair than most people might think. This is the time these two words. There's not a play he can call that they don't already be coming. So the familiarity is there, and that like you said, scoring game or a high scoring. How things shake up. Morningside's definitely going to look from the field a little official against this last night, only scoring 53. Francis slowing down the big way. But Morningside definitely convert from, Concordia was able to, but their late a game making things a little close. So I question if Concordia finish a full 40 minutes, especially against Morningside. Two games this season have come down on the last possession of the game, especially national tournament action, and expect nothing less. It's
Yeah, that game coming up at 8 o'clock Central Time. If you're watching, where like I think Kentucky's in the Eastern Time Zone, but Indiana, some parts aren't. I don't know exactly where.
It's kind of split down the middle.
Split. So I'm not sure where Indiana falls in the category. Apologies for that, but again, I'm sent for that one. And good one, and more in the home team here at the Tyson Event Center. So expecting a very good crowd and an electric one at that.
Yep.
I was here for the 1 o'clock. As did Dakota State, because I mean they're just the road, and that was an electric for 1 p.m. I wait to see what it looks like at 8 at tip-off between Concordia, who's just down the road in Nebraska, and again Morningside, pretty much the home team here at the Tyson Event Center. Whew, that could be loud.
Yeah,
here.
especially, but overall, I mean, considering all that's going on in the world right now, and considering, sometimes in the round of 32 in years past, you'd get teams from the other end of the country, don't travel very well, and it ends up being a quiet venue. There's not really been a quiet game here at this tournament yet. Every single one of the 16 teams has traveled very well, and again, that's considering COVID, that's considering the distance, that's considering everything, and it's been really impressive to see every team have such great success from their communities. It really shows how much each institution means to their local fans.
37-31, our halftime score. 6-point lead for the Wildcats over the Tigers, the 11 seed. Trying to punch their ticket to Monday night. Campbellsville trying to keep it chalk on Monday night. We'll see. We have 20 minutes left to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the second half as you're watching the NAIA Network.
Campbellsville helped me to get a job, get my master's, to prepare myself for the world.
It offers students a tremendous amount of opportunity to get real-world experience.
We see Christian students, non-Christian students. We see people from every walk of life.
It's such a good place to be.
It kind of reminds me of home. Your teachers actually look out for you here. You feel invited as soon as you walk in.
You're not going to find any better place to help students achieve what they want.
Diverse and inclusive involvement opportunities are abundant at Clark University. Discover your perfect fit in one of our 20-plus student clubs and organizations or one of our 21 athletic teams. Here we are a family. We are one Clark, one community.
First Premier Bank has deep roots in South Dakota. Our ag bankers are homegrown experts committed to helping you find the right financial solution for your operation. With extensive experience in the industry, First Premier offers flexible options and local decisions designed to help you today and for generations to come. Find a First Premier ag banker nearest you at firstpremier.com/ag. First Premier Bank, investing in your growth. Member FDIC.
Athletic trainers take action. They're passionate healthcare professionals who impact lives by helping patients feel and perform at their best. From immediate care to injury prevention and return to play rehab, athletic trainers make a difference. Your career starts with Northwestern College's Masters in Athletic Training program. Experience a close community, invested faculty, and hands-on training in exciting settings. You belong at Northwestern because Raiders stand out.
This is how it feels to bank with Prime Bank. This is how it feels to bank with other banks.
Yeah.
Prime Bank, other banks.
Woo.
See the difference? Prime Bank gives you genuine confidence with You Pick Checking, where you choose your reward, points, interest, or cash back. And Prime Bank's mobile banking lets you check balances, deposit checks, and use all the popular payment services. So now is a good time to bank with confidence. At Prime Bank, earn more your way. Member FDIC.
This isn't your average college experience. These are not average fans, average professors, or your average campus. Not interested in a traditional path? Cool. Neither are we. Interested in politics and sustainable agriculture? Perfect. Let's get to work. Okay, volleyball, homecoming queen, and nursing? Sure, why not? This is a place where you, your experience, and your future matter. We're simply here to help. Morningside.edu.
37-31. Indiana Wesleyan, the number 11 seed, trying to things a little bit in terms of the people that pick chalk for the bracket here at the Tyson Events Center. Finals on Monday night and take on Westmont. If you're a fan of chalk, however, Tigers are only down by 6.
Exactly. I mean, this is still a close ball game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing has been most of the games here at the tournament have been just as close as this. It's been a very entertaining tournament to this point, even if for the most part it has been pretty chalky.
And if you are Campbellsville, the good news for you is that you're trailing by only 6, and Indiana Wesleyan has shot an unreal 56% and 46 from beyond the arc. If you look at it that way, you're in great shape if you're the Tigers. To say we're only down 6, okay.
Yeah, exactly. When you're down at all, you're looking for anything to build momentum off of. And, yeah, the fact that you've allowed Indiana Wesleyan to shoot like they have and you're within striking distance is definitely a something to build off of here for Campbellsville.
However, as we pointed out, as they get down low, back out, Groninger can't hit the first shot of the second half, but just ripped away by Jordan Reed. She can't finish. Another offensive rebound fought for, and a jump ball that's going to go the way of Campbellsville. Seacrest gets some high fives, though, for at least flipping the arrow the other way.
And again, offensive rebounds are leading to opportunities once again. Unfortunately for Indiana Wesleyan, it ends up going the other way for Campbellsville. But again, the fight, the physicality is definitely there for both teams and rejuvenated out of the locker room.
Here's Lake, but a foul on the floor. It's going to go the other way against the Tigers.
They got Gregory for it. Must have been jostling for position, especially and got a little too physical down there.
Gregory's first. If you're looking for any, there's no one in real foul trouble. Nobody with 3 yet, but Gabby Suarez has 2. Bailey Van Dyke off the bench has 2 for the Wildcats. As here's Groninger, has Seacrest. Bounce pass to her. A couple Tigers falling all around, and an offensive foul is going to go against Groninger. Ethan Whaley can't believe it.
Now, there's a lot of bodies hitting the floor. Yes, I would say Seacrest to they got Groninger for the foul, but I think where Wesleyan is looking for something is where Sammy Rogers fell into Seacrest, and time, and our official just saw one first before the other one.
At the elbow, Pritchard spinning around, Seacrest guarding her. Shot too long. Seacrest hasn't done a ton in the box scores. Another jump ball. This time it'll go to the Wildcats. While Seacrest, in terms of points and rebounds, hasn't done a lot, just 2 points. Actually, no rebounds yet for Ann Seacrest. She's, again, doing stuff like that where she's sort of just taking Courtney Pritchard right out of the game. And Courtney usually averages about 8.5 points a game. So Seacrest doing a fantastic job in the paint defensively.
Yeah, and Pritchard did a great job as being kind of that fail-safe outlet for Campbellsville against Lewis. yesterday.
Here's a steal for Gregory, and she'll go up and put it off the glass with Suarez draped all over her.
Points off of turnovers for Campbellsville is here, especially if they want to come back.
Another steal for the Tigers, as that is now their 6th. Davis, nice move to the left. Into the paint to Reed, tries to get out to Suarez, but that pass tipped, and then a whistle on the floor. Going to go against Padigo.
Yeah, Padigo, we've seen her swat at loose balls and trying to force steals. That time got a little too much of the arm of Suarez and commits the foul.
Sechrist loses the handle of it. Rogers flying up the floor. Rogers now with 2 fouls apiece. Pritchett trying to get around Sechrist. Sechrist eventually stops her in her path into paint and reset things. Suarez able to avoid the screen by Rogers, but she's going to get whistled for the foul. And for Suarez now, that is 3.
And that's a guard you definitely don't want to lose here to foul trouble because, like we talk about with a number of players, she makes plays on the defensive end. I mean, she's done a good job of shutting down Bailey Padigo, who's the main facilitator on offense for Campbellsville.
Pritchett working against Sechrist. Again, turns her aside. There's Gregory. Can't finish as Suarez had to give up her defensive positioning since she has 3 fouls to her name. She had to play very conservatively there, and still Gregory couldn't finish. Extended defense here as Reed gets it to Suarez. Thought about the 3, but instead puts the ball on the floor. Gets it to Reed. Alone in the paint. Just a little bunny jumper and gets it to go. Reed has gotten the ball wide open, I mean, countless number of times at the free throw line. I know her eyes are leading her to the 3-point line because that's probably the game plan, but if she turns around half the time, I'm sure she's got some open looks.
Yeah, and I think sometimes she catches herself by surprise with how open she was, like on that shot.
Here's Rogers, a little too strong after the back iron. First rebound for Sechrist, believe it or not, with 6:43 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Long pass, and a foul is going to be called on Rogers, and that's her 3rd.
And that's a player you can't afford to lose if you're Campbellsville. So Rogers may have to start backing off a little bit. But again, a lot of these players don't know how to back off. They don't know how to slow the pace down. They just play their game. They play physical, and sometimes it gets them into trouble.
I mean, yeah, you're talking about the team who's 2nd in the nation in steals per game at 14.5.
Right.
All they know is playing aggressive defensively. Suarez checks out of the game as Van Dyke comes in for her. Rogers still in there with 3 fouls, so Ginger Colvin, a tough decision as she thinks things over on the sideline. Sechrist for 3. She's going to miss to the left. Long board comes down to Rogers. Padigo. Good cross-court pass. She looks for Gregory. Sechrist, though, fantastic defense again, just right there to turn her aside. Offensive board, though, again for the Tigers. Lake thought about the 3. Instead, they go down low to Rogers. Rogers, nice pump fake. Tries to go up and under. She'll draw the whistle.
And that pump fake is such a great move down there, especially when paired with a little head fake up. It really got Van Dyke up in the air, and that little bit of leaping that Van Dyke had to do to contest the shot is enough to get her behind Rogers and put her on her backside, and she had to foul her if she wanted to contest the shot.
So another slew of substitutions for Campbellsville, as they do often. Rogers hits the first. You got Madison Shepard on the floor now. Lauren Lee, Lexi Lake, Sarah Sutton. As Rogers, with that left-handed stroke, knocks down the other one. Now Sutton checks into the game. And Ashley McGeorge. So Rogers will go to the bench with 3 fouls. Davis trying to look cross-court to hit Sechrist, but instead it's taken away by McGeorge.
Yeah, McGeorge looked like a safety back there lurking in the weeds, just got right in the way of the passing lane.
Didn't pull the Ed Reed, though, and go coast to coast.
Would have loved to, though, I think.
Oh, yeah. 4-point game. Lee turns things around to run a new play. To left, spins, gives it up. Shepard with 3 on the shot clock. Someone's got to put it up. Finally, a desperation heave by McGeorge. Rebound fought for. Sechrist eventually just ends up with it. Here come the Wildcats. They have some numbers as trailing as Shepard, but eventually she's able to catch up. Tough pass, knocked away, but stays with Indiana Wesleyan. Cross court, finds Damon. 3 on the way. A little short, rebound fought for. That's going to be a foul going against Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's second.
Yeah,
fourth on Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah, that was a great box out by McGeorge, which led to Reed having to try and reach at an awkward angle, reach around her, and then commit the foul. It shows how, boxing out, not a difficult concept, but it is so important, especially down on in the post.
Just past the halfway point of this third quarter, we have 6 total points for both sides on this quarter. Make it 8 after a tough layup goes for Shepard.
She got a little slow to get up there, and hopefully she's all right. It looks like she's going to play through whatever she went down with there for a little bit.
Reed, tough pass, trying to find Sechrist, but it goes right through Sechrist's hands, out of bounds. She was going to be alone in the corner because the Tiger went flying by. She would have had an open look at 3 if she wanted, but instead a turnover in Campbellsville basketball. They trail by 2. They have a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession. Lee versus Davis up the floor. Right on her hip. Davis with a tip, but it's able to trickle its way to a Tiger. Shepard gives it up to Lake. Finds Sutton. And that time Shepard can't hold on to the slippery basketball, and it finds the Tiger bench and a turnover and Wildcat ball.
Yeah, that's one of those instances where Shepard was trying to do what she was going to do with the basketball before she had the basketball. And that first step is very important. You need to have the basketball to get moving and, get your offense going a little prematurely.
You're absolutely right. You can see her head kind of turning as she was making that catch, and then a foul on Dayton Groninger. Her second time she's been called for the offensive charge. Is that one way far away from the basket as well? Just try and get the pass off and break the press, and instead knock the Tiger over.
Yeah,
as back into the game is Rogers.
If there's one thing coaches hate, it is fouls a far distance away from the basketball. If there's another thing coaches hate, it's offensive fouls that far away from the from the hoop.
Rogers back in the game along with Gregory and Pritchett. So quick breaks for them. And Campbellsville can take the lead or tie the game on this possession. Wildcats playing some stingy defense as Gregory drives through the paint, and she's going to pick up the foul. See if this goes against Lawrence or Van Dyke. And it's going to be against Lawrence. That's her second.
Yeah, Lawrence was just right in the way of a lot of traffic, and McGeorge and her had a hard collision. And, it's just one of those things where one force is going one way, one's going the other, and it looks pretty like a hard contact.
Gregory able to hit the first. She's got 8. Can she make it 9? She can. Tigers weren't even there to try to rebound as Ginger Colvin used those free throws as a pseudo timeout to talk to the other 4 players on the court. Full court press. Wildcats just able to break it. Here comes Groninger. She gets it poked away from behind, however, and it's Van Dyke who's able to pick it up. Davis. Double team. Boy, the Tigers upping the defensive pressure on this possession. Groninger to Lawrence, but the Wildcats doing a good job to move the basketball around, and Lawrence dribbles it off of her own foot out of bounds. And you can start to hear the Campbellsville faithful behind us here, Daniel, as they are they can feel the intensity from the Tigers as we're tied at 39 and they get the ball back.
Yeah, it's been a low-scoring third quarter. Only 10 points scored combined, but Campbellsville has been on the front end of this quarter. They've outscored Indiana Wesleyan 8-2. So, yeah, this Campbellsville faithful, as well as the team, I think definitely sensing a shift in momentum here.
Who punches their ticket to Monday? Still a long way to go. Lee to the right, spinning, gives it up. Pritchett, 3, bang! Pritchett knocks it down. And the Tigers have a 3-point lead. Been a while since Campbellville had the lead. And a steal. Lee puts it up. Won't go. Offensive board for Campbellsville. Rogers at the 3-point line. Pritchett rolling to the right. Will hand it off to Lee. And the Tigers will slow things down with 2.5 to play here in the third. They have a 3-point lead, 42-39. 10 on the shot clock as Gregory takes over possession. Pritchett working against Lawrence in the paint. Gives it up. Lee thought about the 3. 3-2 on the shot clock. Throws up a prayer. Won't go. Another offensive board. Gregory throws it up. Gets the whistle. 2 offensive rebounds after the steal on that possession. It's all hustle right now for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think I said something a couple minutes ago about Campbellsville feeling the momentum start to shift. I'd say it's pretty shifted at this point.
Ethan Whaley wants a timeout to try to break that momentum just a little bit. Coach in his 4th year for Indiana Wesleyan can start to feel this third quarter slipping away a little bit in terms of points. 11-2 in favor of the Tigers as the Wildcats have gone cold on offense, and they trail by 3 with 2:12 to play in the third on the NAIA network.
University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marion's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marion for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marion University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marion.edu.
Campbellsville has come out firing with the momentum and intensity here in this third quarter. 11-2, the Tigers lead in points in this third quarter. They have turned a tide in this one, and they lead at 42-39 with Savannah Gregory at the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, and I think I speak for a lot of the people watching this game that if you told me heading into the third quarter only 14 points would be scored to this point, I would have said you were crazy. Indiana Wesleyan was shooting the lights out of the Tyson Event Center there in that first half, and now that the tides have turned, Indiana Wesleyan's only scored 2 points in this entire third quarter.
Yep.
That's got to change.
Wildcats still shooting 50% in this game. However, 17 turnovers now.
Yep.
Feels like they've turned the ball over quite a bit here in this quarter. That number would tell you so. Suarez back into the game with 3 fouls. Well far away from the basket as the Tigers playing extended defense. Seacrest at the three-point line gets the pass, knocked right back in her face. Tries to force it down low, unable to do so. And another steal for Campbellsville, another turnover for the Wildcats. Up by 5 now are the Tigers. Lee drives, kicks it out. Pritchett, another 3 on the way. A little too strong. Bank wasn't open this time. Past hours on the weekend. Groninger, open at three-point line, gives it to Suarez. Rolling to her left, to Davis. Down low, forcing it to Groninger. She is triple-teamed, now double-teamed. Takes a dribble to Suarez. Drives into the lane, puts up a floater. Can't get it to go. A little in between, trying to go for just the nothing but net in the backboard, and she missed it all.
I don't know. If I'm Indiana Wesleyan, I look at that hoop. There's got to be a lid on that thing because they've had great looks this entire third quarter. They're just not falling right now.
Under a minute to go in the third. Pritchett working against her old rival here tonight, Seacrest. Pritchett puts it up with the left hand. Won't go. Seacrest again. She is playing some fantastic defense, and a foul going to be called on Savannah Gregory. And something I hadn't mentioned yet, I keep saying I'm going to, is the fouls and the whistles have certainly gone up this quarter, but that's a direct correlation of the chippiness that we saw in that second quarter. The referees trying to take control of this game.
Right. The fouls have gone up with the level of physicality. And again, you can tell each team has had kind of that second wind come to them out of the locker room, halftime break. They were able to rejuvenate their energy and get themselves back oriented.
Poor pass, and that's going to stay with the Wildcats as yet. No, that's okay. Madison, it's okay. Calm down. That was, in fact, off of a white jersey. We saw it. It was right here. We had no one else had a better view than us, and that was off a Tiger. It's intense.
It's an intense game. I get it.
It's Saturday.
Yes.
Down low, Seacrest wide open. Nice adjustment as Rogers actually was able to kind of affect the shot with her hand, but Seacrest still able to force it in there and get 2 on the board. A much-needed deuce for the Wildcats. Boy, Madison Davis just won't leave Padigo alone. Good backdoor cut, and it's Groninger who's able to get her hand in the way, and then off of Rogers' fingertips, out of bounds. 2 seconds left here in the quarter. Do the Wildcats have a little bit of magic here, or do we go to the fourth with a 3-point game?
But again, the fact that it's a 1-score game with how Indiana Wesleyan's played this third quarter, it shows how solid Indiana Wesleyan's been on defense this quarter.
We have 10 minutes to decide who punches their ticket to Monday night. Does Indiana Wesleyan pull off the upset? We'll find out. NAIA Network. It's a 3-point game as we go to the fourth quarter. A tightly contested matchup here tonight between Indiana Wesleyan and Campbellsville. And Daniel, Indiana Wesleyan puts up just 4 points in that third quarter after they put up 23 in the first, 14 in the second. Is that them just, again, coming back down to earth shooting, or the Tigers defense have a lot to play and say in that outcome?
You know, I think the Tiger defense has a lot to say. Again, they are shooting 50%, but the reason they haven't had a whole lot of missed shots in the third quarter was because Campbellsville was pushing turnovers. So that definitely affects that outcome as well.
Nice dish from Seacrest to find Groninger, who adds to her game-leading total and has 16 now.
And that's what Indiana Wesleyan needs, a bucket on offense right away to start the fourth quarter to try and get themselves back out in front.
Game of the day so far.
Yes.
By far.
100%.
Lake got Suarez to jump out of her shoes. Nice dish down low, and finishing it off is Ashley McGeorge.
Those shot fakes are so lethal for Campbellsville, and it always draws somebody open or themselves open, and Campbellsville plays unselfishly, so they know where to find the open player.
Swinging it around, Suarez thought about the three, drives, baseline, puts up a floater, too strong, 2 Wildcats there. It's Groninger who cleans up the miss and then puts it back in. She's got 18 points and 7 boards, does Dayton Groninger.
And Indiana Wesleyan has 4 points in this first minute and 15 seconds of the quarter. They had 4 points the entire third quarter, so things definitely changing here for the Wildcats.
Basketball is a funny sport sometimes, isn't it?
Very much is.
Foul on the floor. They're going to get Jordan Reed with that whistle. That is her third. We're going to talk about foul trouble, I think, in this fourth quarter, because there's a few as we enter the quarter. Again, Gabby Suarez, she has 3. Dayton Groninger's got 2. Jordan Reed just picked up her third. Ann Seacrest has 2. Maddie Lawrence has 2. Sammy Rogers has 3 for Campbellsville. 2 for Bailey Padigo, and Savannah Gregory has 2.
Yeah, the entire Indiana Wesleyan 5 on the floor has 2 or more fouls right now.
Pritchett working against Seacrest, and a block and a shot clock violation. And Seacrest is just dominating tonight defensively.
Yeah, she's having a tournament so far. She was able to do it offensively yesterday against Southeastern. And on the defensive end, yeah, she's taken away the post. And that was where Campbellsville really made their money yesterday in their round of 16 against Lewis Clark State. It was Rogers, it was Pritchett, it was McGeorge, it was Sutton, all down low in the post. And they've really been quieted here in this ballgame.
Seacrest finds Reed, whistle, as that is Savannah Gregory picking up her third.
Again, that's we say this with every player, but that's one you really have to keep into the ball game. Her leadership is so invaluable. It's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but you can tell Campbellsville plays just a little harder when she's on the floor.
Groninger gives it up, down to Seacrest, working against Pritchett. Pritchett is able to give her a little taste of her own medicine as Seacrest can't hit with the right hook.
Yeah, Pritchett loses about 5 inches on Seacrest, but her ability to just be there in the way of the shot is something that you can't teach.
Reed pokes it away with the steal. Seacrest gets the lob pass. Seacrest gives it up to Reed. Reed will be fouled, and I don't think it was in shooting. They'll say it's on the floor. No continuation foul?
No, not quite.
Not quite. Okay.
Thankfully, we did not get any professional basketball officials for this tournament, I don't think anyway.
46-45. Tigers with the lead, but can the Wildcats change that on this possession? Groninger with 18. Gives it up. Seacrest wide open, down low, and she's able to lay it in. That's going to be her easiest bucket of the night.
And one of her fewest buckets of the night. Only her third score of this ball game. And, yeah, definitely something to try and build some momentum off of offensively.
3 of 7 shooting now. As Rogers drives and gives it up to Pritchett. Pritchett will leave it for Lee on just kind of a dribble. And, a foul going to be called on Bailey Van Dyke. And that's her third.
Yeah, the foul trouble is pretty equal both ways, but I'd say it leans a little bit more to Indiana Wesleyan because, yeah, now we're seeing 2 players on the floor for the Wildcats with 3, another on the bench with 3 for Indiana Wesleyan. They're going to have to play a little differently here.
Lake for 3. No, but Rogers gets the rebound, working her way through, blocked by Van Dyke. Seacrest fighting for the rebound. There's a whistle. And is it a jump ball? Yes. So it'll be Indiana Wesleyan basketball. I was waiting to see if there was a hand up for a foul because that, would have been Rogers, but not quite the case. So just a jump ball. Arrow will flip back to the Tigers, though. They have 4 timeouts to the Wildcats, 2. Suarez all the way across for Groninger. 3 on the way. Got her and the foul!
Oh, boy, that is a clutch shot. Groninger's got 21 now, and, yeah, Campbellsville did the right thing by closing out, but the body contact was there, and, yeah, you can barely see it in that replay, but just getting the shoulder the right side on that contact, and Groninger can score 4 here.
And she does, to push it to a 5-point game for the 11-seed Wildcats, 51-46. I want to mention, too, Daniel, Campbellsville has 46 points here in the fourth quarter. They average usually about 83. Yeah. The Wildcats are playing some impeccable defense here tonight.
Yeah, all around offensively, Campbellsville is strong.
Yep. Seacrest dominating in the paint defensively. Oh, and then Reed tries to make the fancy pass to Van Dyke, who's running with her in transition, but throws it into the Wildcat bench. And after the block by Seacrest, the Wildcats can't turn that into points.
And you see Ethan Whaley. Normally a coach would probably throw his hands up in frustration saying, darn it, we turned the ball over. We had an opportunity. He goes to his team and says, that's okay. That's the look that they wanted. It's just unfortunate execution that did not lead to a score there.
Reed with a possible freshman mistake there. But the way she's played tonight, she's allowed a mistake or 2. Foul on the floor. It's going to go against Ann Seacrest.
And that's her third. Yeah, 3 players now on the floor for Indiana Wesleyan with 3 fouls. And now you're also going to start talking about bonus territory here. Do we get some bonus free throws? Right now each team has 3 team fouls, so it could be pretty evenly distributed when it comes to bonus free throws.
You look at that foul column as a pass thrown up in the air, stolen away by Jordan Reed. Gives it up to Groninger. Wildcats come away with the ball. Suarez lines up a 3. Can't hit it. Padigo had the rebound, then ripped out of her hands by Reed. Out of bounds. Tigers get the ball back.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Indiana Wesleyan maybe slow it down just a little bit. I get it's a rhythm shot. It's something you want to look for if you're Gabby Suarez, but you just had a turnover. Every turnover at this point you want to score on to be able to change the momentum and build that lead.
Tigers doubling up the Wildcats and steals 10-5. As it's Rogers, nice move, able to get around Groninger but can't finish. Sechrist with the basketball now after the board. Sechrist having a big second half with about everything else. And a timeout taken by Ethan Whaley as throwing around her elbows was Groninger. Down to the floor went Shepard. Some people were hoping for the whistle and the foul, and I think Ethan Whaley made the right call there. Just call the timeout and reset the offense as it's a 5-point game as we near the halfway mark of the 4th quarter. What a game we got. You don't want to go anywhere. It's the NAIA Network.
Over the years, Siouxland Community Health Center has been a resource to countless numbers of Siouxland families, providing healthcare services. Our mission is to serve our community and bring healing through our commitment to care. We have the services you and your loved ones need, all within one facility that you can depend on. When deciding where to get your care, choose Siouxland Community Health Center as your primary caregiver. Come see us today.
5:15 to play until we find out who punches their ticket to the semifinals on Monday night. Westmont Warriors watching with much anticipation. They already punched their ticket earlier today, as well as #1 overall seed Thomas More, who is the only team so far this year to beat the 3 seed Campbellsville Tigers. Can the Wildcats pull off that feat? We have half a quarter to find out. Down low. Oh, what a tough shot made by Van Dyke. Bailey Van Dyke's got 4 now.
And Courtney Pritchett's one of the better defenders in this tournament, and to be able to fight through her shot block attempt, put it off the glass and in, is a testament to Bailey Van Dyke's shooting there.
Padigo to her left, hands it off to Pritchett. Will then hand it off to Lake. Padigo hands it to Rogers. Deep 3 on the way for Rogers. Too much mustard on that one. Rebound Sechrist. Suarez flies up the floor, tries to hand it off. Oh, dangerously Groninger. Sechrist lines up a 3, got it. Oh, and Sechrist has turned it on here in the second half. She's got 9 and a timeout by Ginger Colvin. 56-46, the Wildcats have opened up a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter, the 11th seed. They can taste Monday. Can they close it out? We'll find out on the NAIA Network. Boy, did you expect the 11th seed to be up by 10 with 4 minutes to go?
No, but the way Indiana Wesleyan has played this entire ball game on the defensive end, the offensive end, sure they had that hiccup in the 3rd quarter, but they have more than made up for it here in the 4th. They're outscoring Campbellsville 15-2 here in the 4th quarter so far.
The Wildcats have turned up the defense in this 4th and final quarter. As Savannah Gregory back into the ball game, trying to force it to Padigo. Kick save and a beauty, however, by Reed.
And you also, when you see these two teams, if you know NAIA women's basketball, you know Campbellsville has been here for almost 3/4 of the NAIA tournaments in history. Indiana Wesleyan has made it to 18 as well. They're no stranger to the Tyson Event Center, so this was a great matchup right from the get-go.
Lake lines up a three off to the left. Reed will simply watch that one bounce its way to the baseline.
And Campbellsville is now being plagued by whatever plagued Indiana Wesleyan in the third quarter. Their shooting has just dropped here in this fourth. Like I said, only scoring 2 points in 6 minutes of this fourth quarter.
Wildcats on the game now, shooting 54% as it's Reed trying to go coast to coast, and she's going to draw the foul. Reed nodding her head. She is feeling it right now, the freshman forward. New Palestine, Indiana.
And this entire ball game, Campbellsville's done a good job of drawing those offensive fouls. It almost looked like it right away. Pritchett got right in the lane and got in the driving alley of Jordan Reed, but the call benefiting Indiana Wesleyan and now extending their lead past 10 points.
Reed knocks down both. The Crossroads League honorable mention. Can't help but feel that this will not be her only trip to Tyson Event Center. We'll probably see her again here throughout her career with the Wildcats. Long three for Lake, a little too strong. Suarez gets the long board. Flying up the sideline, tries to find a Wildcat, instead throws it away into the bench, and a turnover. 12-point lead for Indiana Wesleyan.
And nobody's going to get credit with a steal or a forced turnover on that one, but if anybody should, it's Bailey Padigo. She forced Suarez right down that sideline, took any outlet away, and yeah, she had nothing to do but throw it out of bounds at that point.
Van Dyke all over Padigo, has nowhere to go with the basketball. They get it down to Pritchett. Pritchett looking for Sutton, almost walked, then hands it off to Padigo, who has to hand it back off to Gregory. Thought about the three, gets it to Pritchett. 5 on the shot clock as she drives against Sechrist. Nothing doing there. That's been the story here tonight. And a jump ball tie-up, it'll go to the Wildcats.
Indiana Wesleyan's playing their game of basketball in the fourth quarter. I don't know what Coach Whaley said in between quarters, but boy, it has sparked something in his team that has really led them to a lot of success here in this fourth.
We have seen a huge seesaw battle in these two quarters. Campbellsville dominated the third, 13-4 in points, as Groninger trying to go coast to coast, cleans up her own miss and gets the whistle. That'll be the 5th team foul on the Tigers.
And it's Rogers picking up her 4th. Yeah, it's one of those tough fouls. I mean, she's fighting for the rebound, but she got a little too far into the space of Groninger, kind of pushed her off her balance, and that ended up leading to the foul. The contact was a little too much for the referee to ignore.
Groninger cannot hit the first. She leads everybody, and I mean everybody, with 22 points. It's not even really close. It's been a Dayton Groninger show tonight. Hits the second to make it 23. And it's an easy decision now if you're Ginger Colvin. Yes, Rogers has 4 fouls, but when you trail by 13 with 2:42 and counting to go, you leave your star in there. As Savannah Gregory driving, she'll be fouled by Reed. She'll go to the line, and now this is important for the Tigers. They need to hit these shots when the clock is stopped, and when you trail by 13 with 2.5 to go, free throws become paramount.
Yeah, and when you're forcing them yourself, Savannah Gregory does a great job there of forcing the issue herself to try and force her way onto the free throw line. The best way to describe it, I mean, you need to be able to have these opportunities. Like you said, the time is stopped here, but you need to be able to convert to the free throw line, and unfortunately she misses the first.
Yeah, misses the first, which is a rarity for her, an 81% free throw shooter. Spins the ball in her hands, missed both. That's one, though, it just feels like maybe there's a lid on the bucket, as that pass was aimed more for Daniel than anybody else. Out of bounds.
Made sure to lean the way out of that one. That ended up actually into the first row of the bleachers here at the Tyson Event Center.
I thought you could have got it. You didn't show much hustle there.
No, I didn't.
That was poor hustle on your end.
I was also expecting.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
The hustle of Indiana Wesleyan. I mean, they were doing a good job of chasing that one down.
If you jump out there, they're going to call you for a foul. That's the way it's been going here in the second half. Padigo stuck near the timeline. by Van Dyke. Well, they've done a great job of just sticking to Padigo's hip, and another steal for Jordan Reed. She has been active here tonight, the freshman flying up the floor, and it's poked away by Gregory, but instead it's Seacrest who picks it up, and the little floater goes for Seacrest.
A 15-point lead for the 11 seed. This is not just an upset. This is a major upset.
The first time we've called Rogers' name for a long time in terms of points, as she now has 13. And a timeout quickly taken by Ginger Colvin is it's Seacrest now into double digits with 11. Impressive for her, as she was kind of held pretty quiet in that first half. The official performance analytics app is Ballogy. That measures, tracks, and certifies athletic skills using objective assessments, facilitates access to the best training resources available, and provides a forum for players to connect, compete, network, and share their development with coaches, schools, and teammates. Ballogy. And Daktronics, the official scoring digital display and audio provider of the NAIA. Visit www.daktronics.com. 13-point game with 2 minutes to go. What has been a dominant isn't even the right word. Fourth quarter for Indiana Wesleyan. After the Tigers took control in the third, winning that quarter 13-4. Suarez, boy, that's a tough catch. Wow, that's impressive on the inbound. She was covered well, and she had to turn her body around. As Reed comes up with it, the Wildcats have outscored the Tigers here in the fourth 20-4. Gregory in Suarez's grill. Some nifty dribbling from Gabby Suarez. And we're going to have a foul away from the basketball.
It's actually
on Suarez?
Yeah,
okay.
Evidently led with the elbow push-off, something like that led to the offensive foul.
Well, for Suarez, that's number 4, but if you're Indiana Wesleyan right now, while foul trouble can hurt, you're more worried about just holding on to that 13-point lead with 1:37 to go and trying to punch your ticket to Monday to meet Westmont, the number 2 seed. Rogers trying to use a screen from Pritchett, but a good job switching by the Wildcats. Gregory lines up a 3, hits that one, and much needed bucket for the Tigers if they want to try to come back in this one. Full court press, ball tipped, but still lands in the hands of Groninger. She flies up the floor, gives up to Suarez, easy left-hand layup, nobody home.
That is textbook way to break a full court press and get a quick score to extend your lead.
Under a minute to play. Long 3, off front rim, no. And as the rebound was corralled by the Tigers, it was Jordan Reed who came flying in and just absolutely running over Lexi Lake.
Yeah, that's a hard hit, but
yeah, that sure is. That's a targeting call in the fall.
Absolutely. But, Lexi Lake took it, and again, this is a good opportunity. There was no guarantee Campbellsville was going to get that rebound, and so the fact they're able to get 2 free throws out of it is important. They got to keep this somewhat close to try and get back into it.
First one's good, and yet the Tigers have to make their free throws. Last trip to the line, Gregory went over.
Yeah, free throws have been a struggle here, comparatively speaking. They're only 9 for 12 from the free throw line. Indiana Wesleyan 7 for 8, and now 10 for 13 for Campbellsville.
Lake knocks down both, and then one Lake comes in for the other. And a timeout taken by Ethan Whaley. Twin sisters switching out. 10-point game with under a minute to go. Ethan Whaley wants to talk things over and make sure they can hold on to this 10-point lead. Can the 11 seed get to Monday? We'll see on the NAIA Network.
The Arena Sports Academy in Sioux City is Siouxland's premier youth sports facility. Whether it's basketball, volleyball, dance, wrestling, or performance training, we offer top-notch programming at an affordable price. The Arena staff are committed to the youth of our community while driving a positive economic impact. Get your athlete involved today. Visit us at thearenasiouxcity.com.
Here at the Tyson Events Center, Connor Ryan, Daniel Versteeg. Game 3 out of 4 here on Saturday afternoon, the quarterfinal round. We have one more to go. That's coming up next with JB. and Nelson Wilson here on the NAIA network. If you want to mute them and listen to Daniel, totally get it.
And I would appreciate
my last game here, so I can say what I want. It's a 10-point game, 63-53. Under a minute to go, 53.6 seconds. Set everything up here for you. You can kind of see it on your screen. No more timeouts for the Wildcats, 2 for the Tigers. Possession arrow pointing the way of Campbellsville. After the Wildcat timeout, Davis just throws it for Suarez as she's trying to race around, take as much time as she can. Nice bounce pass, Reed. She can't get it to go. Tigers needed that, and a timeout quickly taken by Ginger Colvin, one of her 2 left. So she only has 1 left now. And Ethan Whaley wants an explanation. I don't know what he's asking for exactly. I can't hear through the headsets, but it'll be a timeout taken by Ginger Colvin. So 1 left for the Tigers. They trail by 10. That was a big stop for Campbellsville. Can they turn it into momentum and into points? We'll see on the other side on the NAIA network.
Sell online tickets directly from your school's website. Scan digital or printed tickets with the Hometown Gate app. And get immediate access to ticket revenue with real-time reporting at no cost to your school. It's that easy to bring touchless ticketing to your hometown. Hometown. Fast scans, happy fans.
Yeah, Grandma?
Getting a word in edgewise with Grandma isn't always easy.
Oh, yeah, your check.
Depositing her birthday check from your phone, on the other hand,
Of course I deposited the check.
surprisingly easy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's in there. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mobile check deposit with the Great Southern mobile app. Easy. Download the app today.
44 seconds, so only about 9 seconds came off the clock on that Wildcat possession, which is, again, that entire possession was a win-win for Campbellsville. The Wildcats didn't add to their total, and only 9 seconds came off the clock. The Tigers, though, still need to, they have plenty of work to do if they want to make a miraculous comeback here in this one. As Rogers gets the inbounds, works across the paint, can't finish, and a rebound comes down to Dayton Groninger, who's had a huge night. As the Wildcats look to break the press. Davis back to Groninger. Ooh, she's able to get it across the timeline.
That was close to 10.
It was a long 10 seconds. And Rogers is going to foul out on a very soft foul, but it's one of those where the refs are expecting a foul. And for Sammy Rogers, that will not only end her night, but more than likely that will end her career at Campbellsville as the 6-foot senior from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, checks out after fouling out here tonight. And the first for Davis is good. So Rogers finishes with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists on 4 of 13 shooting, 2 of 6 from deep, 3 for 3 from the line. Davis knocks it down. Indiana Wesleyan, and this is the spot where you can't get the Wildcats in because they are the best team in the nation in free throw percentage at 82%. So at this point for the Tigers, it's, I mean, it doesn't look good if you're banking on the Wildcats missing free throws. Air ball on the 3 as the shot clock turned off. We're under 15 seconds to play in this one. Long 3 for Sutton. Won't go. Seacrest gets the board. That should do it. Don't even have to break the timeline if the Wildcats don't want. 11 is going to go to Monday. The Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan pull off the upset of 3-seed Campbellsville, and it's the Wildcats who advance to Monday, and a date with a number overall 2-seed in this tournament, Westmont. Set your alarms for Monday at 8 p.m. to Westmont against number 11 Indiana Wesleyan. What a run they've been on, 83-70 over Southeastern yesterday, and here today a final score of 65-53 over Campbellsville. And number 11 Wildcats have punched their ticket to Monday night. What a game this was here, and the final score does not indicate how close it was the entire way. But we'll step aside for a couple of minutes, come back to wrap things up here tonight. Congratulations to the Wildcats. They're going to the semifinals right here on the NAIA Network.
Has what you need with garden seeds and supplies, plus bulk and bag grass seed and fertilizers to get ready for spring. There's durable workwear and casual clothing for men and for women, plus footwear for work and recreation. Baumgars is your DeWalt headquarters with power tools and yard tools, including the 20 to 60 volt flex volt system. And don't forget the broad selection of pet foods and the supplies you need. More than a farm store, Baumgars is your four-season store.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
Here at the Tyson Events Center in Sioux City, Iowa, Connor Ryan, Daniel Versteg, as we wrap things up here in this quarterfinal.